Like we studied earlier, the changes in the economy started from agriculture in the beginning, then later on moving towards the manufacturing, and then gradually moving towards the tertiary, that is the services sector. Now, what has made these changes? What has made the industries or the whole economy to transform from the primary sector towards the tertiary sector, and what has been giving the tertiary sector so much of importance? So now the point that arises here is the rising importance of the tertiary sector in production. As a primary reason of the rising importance of the tertiary sector, we can take that with the increase in the income of the people have started expecting a lot of services that they might not have expected when they didn't earn so much. So now when the income of the people have increased, the expectation of the people also increased with their increased income. Suppose if you have the money, why will you bother to do the work yourself? Of course you will have someone or you will hire someone to do the work for you. So with the increase in the development of agricultural and manufacturing industries of our economy, the tertiary sector also increased with their increase. Of course, with the increase in the income of the agricultural sector and the manufacturing sector, the cumulative increase in the income of the people have given them the power to spend the money on better services. Now these services are provided in the tertiary sector of our economy. Also, the increasing value of time has also led to more household functions being accomplished outside of home. Like if you are working somewhere, of course you cannot fulfill the needs of the home at the same time if you are working outside. So to take care of the needs or the works of your house or whatever is required in your home, you will have to have someone to help you out with this, and for that you will of course have to pay for that. So for getting these kind of services, we, as in to save time, have also diverted towards the tertiary sector. Also, with the increased income, we expect a better medical facility, medical services. Of course, if you are earning so much, you will not afford to have a bad health. Of course, if you are working, so you will have to have a good health to work properly. So better medical services are required here. So it also gives a push to the tertiary sector. Medical services are also required for the elderly people and for the children. And also the increased demand in the education sector has also emphasized on the tertiary sector, have also given the tertiary sector so much of importance. Now, for the improvement of this tertiary sector, the government of our country has also been doing a lot of efforts. So, the efforts made by our government to support the tertiary sector. As we all know that it is the basic duty of the government to provide better facilities to the people, like hospitals, educational institutions, post offices, police stations, telegraph services. So for providing all these services, the government has to work hard on the tertiary sector, on the services sector, and it takes the direct responsibility for the development of the tertiary sector. Also, with the increased development in the agricultural and the manufacturing sector, the importance of the tertiary sector has increased. How? Because for the development of the agricultural and the tertiary manufacturing sector, what is required are better services. Services in the form of better transport, services in the form of better advertisement, services in the form of better shops. So the tertiary sector also supports in the development of the primary and the secondary sector. So efforts are being made by the government to improve the tertiary sector to help the primary and the secondary sector. Also, like in the earlier point we discussed that with the increase in the primary and the secondary sector, the income or the money in the hands of the people have increased. Now with the money in your hand, of course, the services which will be demanded will also improve. So with the improve in the demand of the services, Of course, the services have to be provided by the government. So the government is now working towards better hotel services, shipping, tourism, schools, hospitals, so that the service sector can also develop new services like of the information technology, like the increased communication that we are witnessing these days. Everybody owns a cell phone in their hand, and these increased communication services are also a part of the tertiary sector, and this also requires an effort from the side of the government, and it gives a lot of output to the government in the form of money. But overall, if we look at it, a very small section of the society is engaged in the tertiary sector. Basically, the services which an average man requires is provided by the local people, like the services of a shopkeeper or the services of a transport person, and the income these people earn is not so much which can give them a very respectful life. So although they are providing us the services, although the tertiary sector is increasing tremendously in our country, but in comparison to the employment it is providing is far less when we compare it with the primary and the secondary sector. Basically with the primary sector, because we all know that most part of our population is dependent on agriculture and is engaged in agriculture. So although agriculture is not giving us so much of output in the terms of GDP, but still the employment which it is providing to the people is far more in comparison to what the tertiary sector is providing. We can also show this with the help of a diagram. The primary and secondary sector are giving such less amount of production, but they are giving employment to the maximum more than half of the population. Whereas when we take the tertiary sector, it is giving us so much of production, but here when we come to the employment part which it is providing is far less in comparison to the primary and secondary sector. Now what has brought these changes? There are certain conditions and certain requirements of the tertiary sector which bars the way of employment. For getting a job in the tertiary sector, first of all what is required is that you should have proper knowledge, or we can say education. Skill is required here, and both these points are the points which will not be seen in most of the population of our country. Most part of the population is unskilled, and the part of education they have is far less what is required in the services sector. Because the services sector, of course, we can take an example. If you enter in a hotel and you see in the reception a person is sitting there who is speaking completely in Hindi, and the accent is very rustic, of course you will get the impression of the hotel ki kitna अजीब सा होटल है या कितना बुरा होटल है. So of course when a service sector is hiring you, the sector expects certain qualities that you should be possessing, and if you don't have those qualities, if you don't have that skill, then of course the sector will not employ you, and most of the people lack in that section. So they are employed in the primary and the secondary sector. So here the contrast arises that the production the primary and secondary sector giving is very less, but the employment they are giving is far more when the comparison comes. Now what brings the changes? Why the employment in the primary sector is so much, but still it is not giving us so much of production? What are the reasons behind it? So when we study the reasons, the major or the basic reason that arises in front of the primary sector here is the different kind of unemployment which is prevailing in the primary sector. So to discuss with unemployment here is that people who are willing to work are not getting the appropriate work. The definition of unemployment is that the people who are willing to work, have the capability to work, and they are volunteering themselves to work but they are not getting the work, then the person will be termed as an unemployed person. And two types of unemployment basically exist in the primary sector of our economy. The first is disguised unemployment. If we define it in simple words, that the people which are actually required to do a certain kind of a job, in that work more than that number of people are engaged. So then the extra people who are engaged in doing that work will be termed as disguisedly unemployed. Situations where people are apparently working but all of them are made to work less than their potential. We can explain this with the help of an example also. Suppose there is a farm and 10 people who own the farm are working on it, but actually only 5 people are required to do all the work on the farm, and the rest 5 who are, although they are also working on the farm, but they are working in the farm just because uh, they are free and they have nothing else to do. So when you see them working in the farm, they'll appear that yes, they are engaged or they are employed in some certain kind of work, but actually their requirement is not there. उनकी जरूरत नहीं है वहाँ काम की. If they don't work in that farm, then also there will be no change in the production or in the capacity of the production of the farm. So the people who are engaged there, they appear that they are working, but actually they are not required there. Instead, they can use their potential, they can use their strength into working into some to some other places also. So in the disguised unemployment, people appear like they are working, disguised as chupa hua. Although they seem, if in the first instance you look at them, they'll appear like they are working, but actually they are not working with their full potential, and they put the extra potential that we have in that area, we can use it into doing certain other fruitful work. So this was the first kind of unemployment. The second is open unemployment. It is exactly the opposite of the disguised unemployment. Here the person appears that the person is not working, and it is open and visible that someone does not have a job and is unemployed. There is another type of unemployment that is also very common in the primary sector of our country. It is not given in your book, but still you should know about it. It is seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is very common in the primary sector of our country. Here what we see is that agriculture is basically conducted in a certain period of the year only, and the rest of the time which is left before the sowing and after the harvesting of the crop, the farmers are basically unemployed and they have no work to do. And because they are skilled in doing one particular job, that is farming, so they usually do not opt to go outside their areas and do some other work. And those who do, they also get very minor kind of work, very odd jobs that are not giving them full amount of their potential. So seasonal unemployment, which occurs seasonally, is another kind of unemployment which is seen very frequently or very easily in our economy in the primary and the secondary sector. In the secondary sector, the seasonal unemployment can be defined as the season. Sometimes, suppose we can take the example of fishing season in the manufacturing industries, secondary sector, that in the fishing season the fishermen are engaged in work, but in the rest of the season where the sea is frozen or the weather is not suitable, then in that period the people are unemployed. So seasonal unemployment is the period out of their working area, working schedule, which leaves the people with no work, and this is termed as seasonal unemployment.